less impressed with Travolta after each meeting. Who was this chubby kid? Where was the sex appeal? Why do we have to make his character so mean? He would soon be fired by Stigwood. The new director, 38-year-old John Badham, was hired only 3 weeks before, with the star in place but very few locations committed. Executive producer Kevin McCormick, 23 years old, was busy buying clothes off the rack for his actors while trying to navigate the streets of Brooklyn for filming permits. He was also in charge of keeping 51-year-old Norman Wexler, the volatile screenwriter, Joe Serpico, whose script would often be quoted as the cast's favorite, on time with his many revisions. The chain-smoking, gun-toting scribe with severe mental health issues, he once bit a flight attendant on a cross-country flight, was a handful, but took seriously the job of telling a gritty story truthfully. Leading up to the first day of filming were weeks of excitement and almost unbearable stress. The $3 million budget was microscopic compared with movies of comparable scope. Paramount made it clear that this production would be cheap and fast. This gritty story, led by a sitcom heartthrob and with music by the Bee Gees, was almost a joke to Michael Eisner, the president of Paramount Pictures from 1976 to 1984, and Barry Diller, the chairman and CEO of Paramount Pictures from 1974 to 1984. The future titans of Hollywood made it clear that Saturday Night would get only a minimal amount of attention. The firing of Avildsen was destabilizing to the cast and crew. And who was playing the lead actress? Karen Lynn Gorney? The soap star? Could she even dance? In the meantime, the leads and many members of the cast were given dance lessons with future dance legends JoJo Smith and Lester Wilson, first cousins from Queens, who each would be responsible for the street dance elements of the movie. The New York Magazine article, imperiously titled "Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night," was written by former UK journalist Nick Cohn in the summer of 1976. When he was in his mid-30s, Cohn was looking for stories to maintain his freelance career and hopefully sell a screenplay to Robert Stigwood. Though an ally of the queer and trans community, he chose instead to focus on the heterosexuals-only discos in Italian neighborhoods, with their loud shirts and even noisier racism giving life to its residences on the weekends. Cohn supposedly received $100,000 and first dibs at the screenplay for the rights to the story, which he later admitted was a fabrication of his imagination. He quickly realized he was no Wexler and abandoned the idea of being part of the production. Who would care about this little disco movie anyway? Wasn't this music supposed to be dead? It seems that very few people believed in the film that would come to define a generation. They underestimated the appeal of Travolta and his legions of worshippers who would gladly skip school just to have a peek at him. That he could never disguise himself well enough before entering the 2001 Odyssey Club featured in the article and film. The clubgoers would pick him out and tease, "You better represent us good." He always responded with perfect manners and charm that he indeed planned to represent them well. New to the crew was 40-something Michael Hausman, who had recently collaborated with director Milos Forman and would go on to have an illustrious film career. Stigwood hired him to cover the coordination of the whole production. Not fluent in the lead's career, he decided to check out the sitcom and was less than impressed. I said, "This guy's got this big hair and a duck's ass in the back, you know? Who the hell gives a shit about him? There's not going to be any security problem." And so we went to the location, which was right next to an elevated subway line. There was an entrance and you can go up. It was right there, he admits to me. Erica Damsky-Luyakano was 10 years old and on the bus for school that morning, and recalls when her bus driver told the kids, "You know, they are filming a movie with John Travolta up on 86th Street, near Lenny's Pizza." Really? So none of us stayed on the bus that day. Basically, we just hung around the entire day watching and just having a good old time. So on that first morning when they attempted to begin the film shoot with Travolta's Tony Manero getting his 2 slices of pizza,
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.